What if everything you built just fell apart? What if you lost it all, and everyone told you it was time to walk away? This is the story of a man who had nothing left but one seed, and what he did with it will change the way you think about giving up. There was a farmer named Tom. He lived on a small family farm in the Midwest, the kind of place where the fields stretch out as far as you can see, and the only sound you hear in the morning is the wind through the corn. Tom wasn't born rich. He inherited that farm from his father, who got it from his father before him. It wasn't much, just 40 acres, a small barn, an old pickup truck that barely ran. But it was his. Every morning, Tom would wake up before sunrise. He'd walk out to those fields with a cup of black coffee in his hand and dirt already under his boots. He worked that land like it was sacred, because to him, it was. His wife, Sarah, would stand on the porch and watch him. Their 2 kids would run around the yard, playing in the dirt, not knowing how hard their dad worked just to keep the lights on. Tom believed in something simple. Work hard, stay honest, and the land will provide. And for years, it did. But then, everything fell apart. It started with the drought, the worst one that county had seen in 30 years. The rain just stopped coming. Week after week, Tom would look up at the sky hoping to see clouds, but there was nothing. Just hot, clear, merciless sun. His crops started dying. The corn turned brown. The soybeans shriveled up before they even had a chance. He tried everything. He ran irrigation lines from the creek. He cut back on watering the parts of the field that were already lost, trying to save what he could. But it wasn't enough. Then the bills started piling up. The bank called. The feed supplier stopped delivering. His equipment broke down and he didn't have the money to fix it. One by one, the other farmers in the area started selling their land. Big corporations were buying up family farms left and right, turning them into industrial operations. Tom's neighbors told him to do the same. "Tom, it's over, man," one of them said. "Get out while you still can. Take the money and start fresh somewhere else." But Tom couldn't do it. This farm was his family legacy. It was all he knew. It was all he had. So he kept going. He planted again and again. But every time, the crops failed. Months went by. His savings were gone. The bank was threatening foreclosure. Sarah had to pick up extra shifts at the diner in town just to buy groceries. And one night, after another failed harvest, Tom sat alone in his barn. He was holding a small cloth bag. Inside, there was one last seed. It was an heirloom tomato seed, the kind his grandfather used to grow, the kind that doesn't exist in stores anymore. Just one seed left. Tom stared at it in his calloused hand, and he felt the weight of everything crashing down on him. What's the point? He thought. One seed isn't going to save this farm. Even his wife had stopped asking how things were going. She loved him, but she was exhausted too. His kids didn't understand why they couldn't have new shoes, why Christmas was smaller every year. And Tom, he felt like a failure. He looked at that seed and thought about throwing it away. Maybe everyone's right, he thought. Maybe it's time to let go. But then something stopped him. He thought about his grandfather, the man who had built this farm with his bare hands during the Depression. He thought about all the mornings he'd walked these fields, believing that hard work still meant something. And he thought about his kids. What would he be teaching them if he gave up now? That when life gets hard, you quit? That when the odds are against you, you just walk away? Tom stood up. He walked out to the driest, deadest part of the field, the part everyone said would never grow anything again, and he knelt down in the dirt. With his hands, he dug a small hole. He placed that last seed in the ground, covered it gently, and he said out loud, "If this is all I've got left, then I'm going to give it everything." He didn't know if it would work. He didn't know if the rain would ever come back.
But every single day, he went out there and watered that spot. People driving by probably thought he'd lost his mind. Even Sarah asked him once, "Tom, what are you doing?" And he just said, "I'm not giving up." Weeks went by, and then, one morning, Tom saw it. A tiny green sprout breaking through the cracked, sun-baked earth. He couldn't believe it. He knelt down and stared at it like it was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. Because it was. That one seed had survived. Tom cared for that plant like his life depended on it. He protected it, watered it, talked to it like it could hear him. And then, just when he thought nothing else could go right, the rains came. Not a drizzle, a real Midwest thunderstorm, the kind that soaks the ground and fills the air with the smell of wet earth. And that one little plant, it exploded. It grew bigger and stronger than any tomato plant Tom had ever seen. It produced fruit. Dozens of tomatoes, bright red, heavy, perfect. And from those tomatoes came more seeds. Tom planted every single one, and this time they all grew. Within a year, Tom's field was green again. Within 2 years, he wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. He started selling his heirloom tomatoes at the farmer's market. People loved them. They'd never tasted anything like it. Word spread. Restaurants started calling. A local grocery chain wanted to carry them. Tom's farm didn't just survive. It came back stronger. And the people who told him to quit, they came back around asking, "How'd you do it, Tom?" And Tom smiled. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small bag of seeds. "I didn't give up on the last one." So let me ask you something. What's your last seed? Maybe it's a business idea that's been failing. Maybe it's a relationship you're about to walk away from. Maybe it's a dream you've been carrying for years that feels impossible now. Maybe everyone's telling you to quit. Maybe even you are telling yourself it's over. But here's the truth. It only takes one seed. One more attempt, one more day, one more refusal to give up. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need 100 chances. You just need to plant what you have left and take care of it. Because success isn't about never failing. It's about refusing to quit. Tom could have thrown that seed in the trash. He could have walked off that farm and never looked back. But he didn't. And because he chose to try one more time, everything changed. So if you're holding on to your last seed today, don't let it go. Don't listen to the people who say it's over. Don't believe the voice in your head that says you've tried enough. Plant it, water it, protect it, and trust that even when the ground feels dead, something can still grow. Because sometimes your biggest breakthrough is hiding inside your last attempt. And sometimes all it takes is one seed to change everything. Never give up. Not on your dreams, not on your family, not on yourself. Because you never know. That last seed you're holding might be the one that saves it all.